Good morning, class. This fine morning, I am going to teach you about the GPS. Now, GPS stands for Global Positioning System, which I'm sure you all already knew. It's a space-based satellite navigation system that provides location and time information in all weather conditions anywhere on or near Earth where there is a clear line of sight to 4 or more GPS satellites. It was originally created by the US government for use by the military, but now it is freely accessible to anyone with a GPS receiver. Here's a little history lesson. In the past, sailors used constellations and stars as landmarks at night to determine their position and direction at sea. The GPS replaces natural stars with artificial satellites, which are a lot more accurate and reliable. Now, you're probably interested in the physics behind the GPS. The goal of the GPS is to determine the position of a GPS receiver. That is, if you are using a GPS in your car, the first goal of the GPS technology is to determine your exact position. This is done through a complex process of 3D trilateration. To make things a lot easier to understand, let's take a look at 2D trilateration. Imagine, you're lost and have no idea where you are. You ask someone if they know where you are and they say, you are 100 kilometers from Catland. This means that you could be anywhere on a circle with a radius of 100 kilometers. Next, you meet someone else and ask them where you are and they say, you are 200 kilometers from Dog Country. This means that you are at one of the points where these two circles intersect. Next, you meet another person and ask them where you are. They reply, you are 50 kilometers away from Birdtown. Now there's only one point where the three circles intersect. This is your position. You are in Whoville. This is essentially how the GPS works. However, it is 3D instead of 2D. In other words, you would use spheres instead of circles. GPS satellites continuously transmit their time using atomic clocks installed inside them. They are able to determine the exact position by solving several equations, including the one we are going to look at next. Going back to the 2D trilateration example from before, we know that we are in Whoville. Now we know the position of the satellite. However, we still need to know the displacement from the satellite to the receiver, aka the person who wants to know where they are. An important piece of information is that microwaves travel from satellites to receivers at specific intervals of time. This information provides us with the velocity, since microwaves travel at the speed of light, as well as the time. We would now be able to put the velocity and time into the displacement equation to find out how far away we are from the satellite. Alright, so to go over everything really quick, we would use trilateration to find out what the position you are at, and the displacement equation to find out how far away you are from the satellite. But remember, there are lots of other complex equations that are solved in the GPS satellites as well as the receivers, but we'll save those for another day. Now let's talk about the impacts of GPS on the society. If we look at the pros first, we could start with the obvious one, which is satellite navigation in vehicles, aircraft, and ships. Today, drivers are able to follow routes, find detours around traffic problems, and receive traffic alerts all because of the GPS. Another positive effect of the GPS is in emergency services. Emergency workers are able to get to accident scenes much faster now, and search and rescue teams can pinpoint people. This is often a matter between life and death. GPS is also incredibly helpful in making accurate maps. However, with any system, there are the cons. The negative impacts on the society includes the fact that many people see the GPS as a security issue. This is because it is really easy for a hacker to hack into someone's GPS receiver, which can be through a phone, tablet, or laptop. That's pretty scary. Also, if you're standing in a place with really tall buildings, the signal might lag, which could cause pretty big problems depending on the circumstances. Now that we've discussed the effects on the society, let's take a look at the environment. Here are the pros. The GPS has made it possible for scientists to track climate change and other phenomena affecting the environment. In fact, researchers are able to use GPS technology to monitor important environmental trends such as global warming. GPS is what has allowed endangered species to be tracked since GPS receivers are placed onto these animals, leading them to be monitored 24/7. But of course, with positives, there are always negatives. GPS is what started the activity of geocaching. Geocaching is an activity where people hide containers called caches in the wild and post the coordinates of the hiding spot online.
Created using Powtoon.